we've regulated and cycled ourselves out of community because of the messiness.
Yes.
And because we don't want to deal with the messiness of community, we have isolated ourselves and our families, and we're overwhelmed. And now we're saying we don't have a village and we don't have help and we don't have the things. But it's because you don't want to deal with your crazy auntie. You don't want to deal with your annoying uncle. You don't want to deal with the mess that community brings. But this is the mess that helps us grow and evolve and become better people. And or that's what it should be doing. But it's like, we're like, I don't really want to deal with that because it's hard. We are back with another episode of Triggered AF, the podcast. Hey, Alicia.
Hey, Dani. How are you?
And we are in person like we like to be.
Yes. We can touch and feel.
So we have heard you all loud and clear, and you all have made it very clear that you want some episodes where it's just us two.
Yes.
We love our guests. You love our guests. But there's just something when it's just us two talking that I feel like just has the best synergy. We really are able to get our point across. And I just feel like people tend to gravitate towards those conversations. So I feel like we have to give the people what they want, baby.
Listen, you ask, we deliver, okay? And now, we're not going to do that all the time. But in this instance, yes.
Yeah.
So this particular conversation is one that I have not heard discussed often. If y'all have, definitely tag me in it. I would love to hear it. But the conversation and the piece around emotional intelligence is one that I feel we are not having enough of, number one. And number two, there isn't enough discussion around how do I develop this thing? It's not like you born without it, you'll never have it. Like, no, you
like it feels
develop.
like it's just for some people and not for all people.
Yeah.
Like only a certain type of person gets emotional intelligence. Like it's not genetic, guys. Like maybe there's some genetic predispositions that some people may have from people who have already mastered some emotional intelligence and been able to pass it down. Maybe there's some of that in there. But for the most part, this is something that you need to be learning and cultivating and nurturing and finding ways. It's a skill set and more than it is a genetic predisposition.
Absolutely. And just like with any skills, if you work it, it works. Like if you develop it, if you are ensuring that you are nurturing it, you are, growing it. Like a plant will die if you don't water it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it needs the right environment to thrive in.
Exactly.
That is how emotional intelligence works. So first we want to define it for you so we can just jump right on in. So emotional intelligence, or what people call EQ for short, is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage your own emotions, right? Because we can only control ourselves. And to recognize, understand, and influence the emotions of others.
Now, I know if you have never actually looked it up, because y'all know we like a good definition. If you've never actually looked it up, you might be like, oh, word, that's what it actually means? Yes, actually. Yeah. That is what it means. And for many people, they only feel like they have the empathy piece. But what folks don't understand is there are actually 5 components that make up emotional intelligence. And that's self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, social skills, and empathy. Yeah. Like it's one of 5,
and empathy's not enough. And from the things that I've heard and how I see people talking about it online, it leans heavily into the empathy piece.
That's the only
people
piece
feel like as long as I can put myself in your shoes, I am emotionally intelligent. And it's just like, it's a little bit more than that, because even sometimes too much empathy can be overwhelming and cause your emotions to go out of whack, you know? Yeah. So I love that we're going to break it down in a way that talks about the fullness of what it means to be emotionally intelligent and how the empathy can, and is useful when it comes to that. But we don't want to drown in so much empathy, because that can also be very risky.
Exactly. Like folks who are like, oh no, I'm an empath. I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't do this, I can't do that. It's not that because you're an empath, it's because you don't have very strong self-regulation tools. Yeah. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. However, you may be an empath, and also you need better discernment. Like, let's call a spade a spade. Mm-hmm. You lack boundaries, you do not know how to self-regulate, and you need more discernment. Yeah. That is how you still maintain your essence as an empath and still do so with wisdom.
Mm-hmm. And Adam Grant highlighted that a mark of emotional intelligence is prioritizing your values over your moods. Immature people are victims of their feelings. Their choices are governed by fleeting sensations. Mature people take responsibility for their actions. Okay? Okay, let that one simmer. Okay. Their choices are guided by lasting principles. Okay, so that is the benchmark that we're gonna set for what it means to be emotionally intelligent. And that sounds really easy to do, but oh my God, like, oh, it's not easy at all. And the fact that we are having this conversation and the fact that you're listening to it is a good sign that you were well on your way. Mm-hmm. And emotional intelligence is just like any other form of healing where I feel like it's a lifelong
journey. It's a lifelong journey.
You're always going to need to be getting better because you're always going to need to get tested.
Exactly. And it's unfortunate now, in the name of protecting my peace and, not allowing people to come in their world and disrupt it. And be clear, I too have said, no, I'm protecting my peace. Yeah. I'm restricting access. I'm not doing the things. However, if you always cocoon yourself into this bubble, into this protective layer that nobody can penetrate, nothing can get through. Yeah. Nothing also can get out. And how do you know that you've really grown, you've really learned something, and you're able to now better manage or better handle a specific trigger if you're never tested? Yeah. And it doesn't count. Yeah, because then you just it's just like, okay, but we don't actually know if there's there were no scientific trials. There were no studies. How do we know this works? Yeah. We need proof. And a lot of times we'll be so cocooned in this perfect little world where we're vibing high and everything's fine. And then you get thrown into the real world one day unexpectedly. And you're like, hold on, wait a minute. I did not agree. I am not as emotionally intelligent as I thought. I want to cuss everybody out. Fuck your emotions, fuck my emotions. I don't want any parts. And that is why we feel like it's important to have the tools so that when you are tested, you can at least increase the chances of you having the result that you're seeking, trying to become a more emotionally intelligent person and understanding not only others' emotions, but really understanding your emotions. It's not really so much about the other people as much as it is about you. Yeah, with everything, it absolutely starts with you. Yeah. How do I recognize what I am experiencing? How do I recognize what triggers me, and then to what level, right? Because there are levels to triggers. Mm-hmm. Some triggers don't take me to level 10, and other triggers may take me to level 20. Yeah. So what are the levels? It is really having a deep awareness and understanding of who you are, how you respond, how you show up, how other people then react to those things, and then how you manage your way through it to achieve your desired results. But I think that self-awareness has gotten too pretty. I feel like people like to act like they're so self-aware because I know what kind of matcha latte I like. Sometimes it feels so surface, but I believe that self-awareness is knowing how fucked up you are. And not in a self-pity or victimization way, but just knowing oh no, I'm capable of that. Don't bring me there. Knowing oh no, if you do that to me, I'm vengeful. I'm gonna get revenge. Don't even put me in that situation. Yeah. Don't even tempt me. I always say that there are alcoholics who can go to AA and do the work to recover from alcohol. And there are some who have done that can walk into a bar, sit down and watch others have a drink and not get tempted to have a drink. There are people like that in the world that they recover from drugs, they recover from addiction, and they have so much willpower and discipline or whatever it is that makes them a way that they can still be in the environment and not touch it. Then there are other addicts that if they walk into a bar, they smell it, they can't resist. They have to do that. You have to know what kind of animal you are. Listen, I always say, especially when dating, I like to truly get to know who I'm dating because I need to know, do our demons play well together? Right. I got some stuff in me. Right. And so many people are completely unwilling to face or accept the dark parts of themselves. The really dark parts. So not and again, sometimes I do see people do it, but it feels like it's more like a self-pity kind of self-deprecating way. It shouldn't be like that. It should just be I'm a little crazy when it comes to that. I'm not. And then once you do that, then you can start figuring out ways to manage your triggers. But real self-awareness, not the fluffy, pretty kind with rainbows, the ugly, kind of embarrassing, a little shameful. Mm-hmm. I don't really want to say this out loud that I feel like this about certain things, and I don't want people to judge me if they found that I was like this. Those parts want you to be self-aware. And here's the thing too, you don't necessarily have to say it out loud to anyone except you.
Yeah.
This literally, it first and foremost is about
always
you.
about
Because
you.
if I know that I don't respond well when this happens, I hopefully won't keep putting myself in positions and situations where this particular thing happens, because then I'm going to keep getting the result that I don't like.
But what about if it's an environment that you can't change right now?
Oh, okay. So then that's a good
right?
thing
Because
too, right?
that's what it is for so many of us. Like if you are a mother and you have small children, and something for me that is very triggering is loud crashes. I don't like sudden loud noises. Like it always makes me jump. I always have a reaction. It could happen 5 times a day. Every time I'm like, oh. Like, I don't like that. I don't like it. It automatically sends me on edge. Yeah. It's something that, like, I could be in, like, the best mood. And once something drops, when something crashes, I am very irritated. So I can't always change the environment that I'm in, but I can change the way I self-regulate.
Absolutely. So what is it? For me, it's, and this is too when we get into the tools that will definitely, because y'all know we like to give a good tool, that we'll definitely talk about is, okay, how can I reframe it? Instead of a, God dang, you dropped it again. What is going on? It's a, oh my goodness, let me see how well you can balance it so it doesn't drop next time.
Mm-hmm. Or for me, I've learned that I need to know exactly what fell.
That's
and why. Like I need to like investigate.
Is your thing.
Yeah, like when it's like a sound and I don't know what it is and I don't know what happened, and it's just like I need to just find like what happened, what dropped. Okay, like, and again, how can we prevent it from dropping? Yeah. I've had to learn how to breathe and just like calm down and be like, it just is something that fell. Yeah. If it's a spill, I will wipe it up. If it broke, I will just clean it up. If it's something that is irreparable, I will throw it away. Like just like finding the solution to whatever fell, whatever happened, as long as nobody's injured, like we can fix this. And it's not that serious. Like, you know,
we can fix this. It's kind of like, so it sounds like what you're doing literally, and because you have small children, it's kind of being forced on you. But in immunotherapy, when folks have severe allergens, they will expose them in micro doses to whatever that allergen is so that you can build up a resistance to it so that you won't maintain that that allergic reaction, or sometimes that, you know, that thing that just sets everything off. And so one of the things that will happen if you keep cocooning yourself in high vibes, good vibes, nobody else can get in, it's like, first of all, not only is it not real, but then when things happen, like the crash of the things because of the small children, then you crash out.
Yeah, and now you're going from 0 to 100 and wondering why you're not as healed as you thought, wonder why the journal isn't working, wonder why the yoga didn't work this morning, and why the sauna isn't making you chill. Like, because you're not actually testing these things. And we're not saying put yourself in situations where you're constantly being tested. We're just saying don't cocoon and isolate yourself and boundary happy yourself so much that now you're so isolated from what's actually happening and what your world is really like when you're in it and dealing with all the things. I forgot who it was on Instagram, but they were talking about like we have like we've regulated and cycled ourselves out of community because of the messiness. Yes. And because we don't want to deal with the messiness of community, we have isolated ourselves and our families, and we're overwhelmed. And now we're saying we don't have a village and we don't have help and we don't have the things. But it's because you don't want to deal with your crazy auntie. You don't want to deal with your annoying uncle. You don't want to deal with the mess that community brings. But this is the mess that helps us grow and evolve and become better people. And or that's what it should be doing. But it's like, we're like, I don't really want to deal with that because it's hard.
Hey, driver, you're not a part of the community yet? Being in community is the game changer and the cheat code.
And this is more than just a membership. It's your growth circle, accountability hub, and safe space for navigating the messy yet beautiful work of becoming your best self.
And not only will you get exclusive tools, live access, and the support designed to help you transform your triggers, but you'll also get the tools that you need to build new habits that help you to lead with clarity, confidence, and joy.
Time to create lives that feel as good as they look. See you soon, Thrive Tribe. Visit justthrivenow.com.
And it does not feel good.
No.
I think that too is when you're telling yourself, I don't like things that don't feel good.
Yeah.
Like, no.
We run from pain.
Exactly. Yeah. And I have a very low tolerance. Listen, y'all, in labor, I literally was tripping so hard about the fact that they had to, do the IV. I am pain averse, okay? Like people are risk averse. I am pain averse.
Yeah.
And so I was tripping out so hard about the fact that this lady had to give me the IV, and she's like, ma'am, are you aware that you're about to give birth?
Like that is like this is just the tip of the pyramid.
She really asked me in a very concerned way because she could not understand.
Like, why are you feeling like this? Like, do you know what's actually about to happen? Like this is just the appetizer, boo.
I mean, and I was going crazy, and I had an emergency C-section, so they were gonna have to like give me a shot in my spine and cut me open and do all the things. And she's like, "Baby, you tripping over this IV? Prepare yourself.
Right.
It's about to get real fun." But and this is what the lady kind of was explaining to me. She was like, "This right here is the precursor to help you handle and manage the next shot that is coming. That if you don't stay still and if you move, could paralyze you." She's like, "So I need you to stay still now so that you can be in the habit of staying still, even when you're having a contraction, so that you can be ready for it." That was such a good piece of advice. And I literally just thought of it when we were having this discussion, because it's like, allowing myself to be introduced to it so that my tolerance was a little bit higher so that I can have the proper reaction, because you don't get to determine what's happening outside of you.
And see, that's why I don't know sometimes if because I know there's different ways that like some people don't want to call it gentle parenting anymore, but like what I think gentle parenting is, where you're not telling your children no, and like the extremism of it, not the intentional parents, not the people, apparently it's a spectrum, but the people who are like, I don't tell my babies no, I just allow them to lead me and guide me. And sometimes I wonder if we have put our children in a situation where, because they don't really face anything, because we may not yell at them and we may not, expose them to the fullness of a human being, do they end up having these expectations? And is that why like suicide rates are higher and drug abuse is higher and anxiety and depression is higher in young people now than it's ever been in history? Is it because they're so like you said, like risk averse, pain averse, like they don't deal with anything ever? You never had your mom say something to you and you guys had to figure out how to move through that. You've never dealt with conflict resolution, because everyone is like creating like this perfect little world where everyone is nice and nobody yells. And I'm not saying that it's not an admirable thing to want to raise your children in a house of just like love and happiness and no like discipline. Like I think that's wonderful if that works for you. But I just wonder how prepared they are for what actually happens in the world and the kind of people that they're mostly going to deal with. Like most people don't grow up in those households. So it's like, is there like a better like balance or a better harmony that can be struck that kind of still has a household full of love, but also gives something that still creates them, that still helps prepare them for the real world?
I firmly believe, I love us. I'm an older millennial. I can't believe I have to say that now, y'all. I am an older millennial. I don't know when this happened, but I'm grateful for life. However, for millennials, we had an interesting time, right? Like our parents were, I think, the result of the crack baby epidemic. So they had a lot of things that they just hadn't processed, hadn't worked through. Their families, had a lot of very real unresolved trauma. And then they raised us, and I'll only speak for myself. They were so violent in their raising of us that it's like all the millennials, and so many of us had the same experience. Like you go through any of the little meme pages and they're like, did we all live the same way?
How about I went to a baby shower and they were doing like sayings that your mom would say to you, and we all knew all the answers. It was like, I ain't one of y'all, and everybody was like, little friends.
Yes.
Like we had so many of them. I brought you in this world and I'll take you out. like we all knew that these were the sayings, and they were all so mean. And it was like, oh my God, like, why were we talking like this to babies? Like, girl, anyways, go ahead. I was just like, that is so true. Like, the experience was similar across the board, across different cultures within the Black community. Like, it's wild.
It is wild. But now, because of that, the millennials, it seemed like, and we didn't even have a real meeting, but it's like we all got together, just like we all lived a very similar life. We all got together and was like, no, we will not raise our kids like this.
We over-course corrected.
We are going to be different. And it's like,
right.
Yes, we should be different, because nobody should grow up the way many of us grew up.
Yeah.
And also, you can't protect and shield them so much that they can't take a bee sting or they can't take a mosquito bite. Like kids who grow up in a bubble, now it's more harmful for them than it is everybody else because they have not had a chance to experience anything.
Yeah, there's no adversity. Like, I think children I used to say they don't need trauma. I feel like maybe a little trauma in there might be all right. But they need adversity for sure.
They absolutely
Humans need adversity to just thrive, to learn how to survive on a basic level. Like, adversity is so built into our ecosystem. Yeah, they must have for everything, for your muscles to grow. Like, think about your teeth pushing through your gums when you're a baby. Like, everything in this world is very designed to kind of push you and mold you and break you and build you. And like, there's just so much of that happens just on a biological level. Absolutely. It's ridiculous, I feel like, to think that is not something that also propels us in life. Like, it can't just be like everything is just so nice and easy and like everyone loves me and everyone hears me and everyone sees me. It's like, that's not the actual world, and that's not the majority of the people that you're going to deal with. So how do you equip them, and how do you give them tools, and like, what are the ways that we can better prepare our children to be emotionally intelligent people?
I think it is actually being intentional. Like I tell, and I've said it many times, tell who you want to tell. I do not believe in gentle parenting in any form. I do not. I do not believe in gentle parenting because I do not like the results. I don't like the results. The results don't be resulting. And but seriously though, I am very results focused. Even in myself, I'm like, you keep doing this thing and it's not working.
Maybe we should try something else.
Maybe we should try something different. I just told Dani, like, I just did a training, 5 days, 2 hours each day. I'm like, because what I'm doing is not working.
I have to try something else.
I will have to do something different. So for me, no on the gentle parenting trope. However, I firmly believe in being an intentional parent. Yeah. So for me, when it comes to, hey, let's just raise more intentional young people. Let's be intentional about teaching them emotional intelligence, developing it in them, nurturing it. And if you don't know it, that's fine. Learn together. Yeah. I had a baby very young, and she and I were learning together. There were things that I did not know, and I'm like, okay, well, I have a baby now. I need to know this so she can know this too. Yeah. We can just simply learn this thing together. So one of the most important ways, and we were talking about this earlier, that you can develop empathy in young people is to teach them what real self-accountability, personal accountability is. Yeah. And if it's one of those things where you're like, oh, well, yeah, I teach them to say sorry. Or I teach them like, oh, don't hit, don't bite. Like, yes, like those are okay. But like, for instance, this happens a lot, but I can see her emotional intelligence versus sometimes when I'm around other children, or just for her age, my 4-year-old is just very emotionally aware. Like she knows that something is wrong with you. Like she'll be like, what's wrong? And she's very like, you'll like stub your toe on something, and in a few days she'll be like, how's your toe? And it's like, oh my God, you remembered my little toe? Like that wasn't nothing, but I hit my toe, I scream out, I'm obviously in pain. Like she's so empathetic and self-aware, and she can say to her, like she'll say to you, like, I don't like that, I'm upset, I feel so frustrated, I'm so overwhelmed, I don't love it, I feel angry right now, I'm feeling very sad. Like she's doing, she does the things, and a lot of it because I feel like I don't really make her apologize. If she does something, like I don't like forcing children to say I'm sorry, because then you start to say that you're sorry from the wrong place. Like I don't make her apologize. I ask them, like, do you think that you should apologize for it? So like for an instance, she'll hit her sister, and then I'll be like, I'll reprimand her, don't hit your sister, but I never say sorry to your sister. I'm like, do you think you should apologize? And then in anger, she'll be like, no, I'm not saying sorry. So then I will apologize to her sister. I would say, I'm so sorry your sister hit you. That's not okay. And I will apologize, because I'll then model what should happen when you do these things. And then in the moment, she'll just kind of watch and kind of side-eye us. Like, well, I still ain't saying shit, because she's very strong-willed. And she'll side-eye us like, yeah, that was cute. Yeah, you apologize, Mom. And then, like, time will go on. Like, we'll get in the shower. It's like a couple hours later. I'll be, like, in the room, like, getting my stuff for the shower. And then they'll be in the shower, and I'll hear her say, I'm sorry for hitting you, baby sister. On her own, right? Because I want her to just, like,
I want that to be a genuine thing. I don't want her to be an I'm sorry girl. I'm sorry for everything. I'm sorry for every little thing I do to somebody. It's just like, if you do something, own it. And if that's how you feel, that's how you feel.
You said it with your chest.
I'm going to model what you should be doing and what's better for you, but I still want it to be your choice. That's one thing I do. And the second thing is I try to be very mindful of her emotions to the point where I let her cry. Like, I think it's really interesting that, like, our parents would just, like, beat our ass and then ask us if we wanted something to cry for, as if they did not just deliver us a full thing to cry. Like, this is what you give people to cry. They give it to you and then say, oh, you better not cry. And it's like, you something else to cry about. You know, it's like, we would get hit, we would get punished, we would get hurt, and then be expected not to cry.
Yeah.
What do you teach a child over time if you tell them that they shouldn't be feeling appropriate emotions?
Like, this is an appropriate emotion, but you better not cry. You better not say nothing, even though you're responding appropriately to the stimuli. It's like,
hold on, wait a minute. And then you grow up feeling like, well, I can do things to people and they shouldn't feel pain and they shouldn't feel any way about it because shit, I don't feel it. Do you feel it? Like, I don't feel anything. It's not raining in here. Like, we're soaked, but that's not what's happening. Like, we create like this dynamic of denial within ourselves where we deny our own emotions. So then we end up denying and gaslighting and, you know, to other people because we just don't fully understand what emotions are supposed to feel and look like appropriately.
Absolutely.
So I'm very big on like, oh, mommy yelled at you and you want to cry? Yeah, go ahead, baby. Like, you can cry when you're ready for comfort. Come to me and I'll give it to you. But I don't believe in that, like cutting their emotions short because it's annoying you.
Yes. And so, but now that's something that me as a human, because, you know, we like to be self-aware, that drives me mad.
When children crying? Yeah, a lot of people it does.
My God. Now, here's the thing. Ask Dani. I can ignore the hell out of it. I mean, I be ignoring. Like, oh, a child's crying. Oh, my goodness. I'm sorry. I guess I should. Are you okay? I ignore the hell out of it. But if I'm tuned in, it drives me crazy. So I always used to tell my daughter, mind you, she was speaking in full sentences by the time she was 1, probably because crying irritated me so much. I would always tell her, I need you to use your words. I need you to use your words. I need you to explain to me. Mind you, this baby was 6 months old. Y'all don't judge me, okay?
She didn't have the words yet, but she was going to find them, child. She hurried up before 2, like, okay, I got him now.
We listen and we don't judge. I was a young parent. Don't judge me. I was doing the best I could with what I had at the time. So I would always tell her, I need you to use your words because it bothered me so much. And so it was, explain to me what's wrong. I'm okay with you telling me you hurt my feelings. Like my daughter to this day, when I make her upset, and it happens a lot because, you know, I'm me. And so she'll tell me, she's like, you know, it really does frustrate me because my daughter used to eat the food all the time. Like she would eat my last, she would take my last, she would do all the things. And lately, I don't know what is happening, but I've been doing that to her. Not even on some get back type
revenge.
It's not revenge, y'all. I don't know what it is. But she's been taking so long to like eat her stuff that I've just been.
In Jamaica, we say, who stay too long serves 2 masters, okay?
Exactly. So I've been eating her stuff. So the other day, she's like, you know, Mom, you're really starting to frustrate me. You're really starting to frustrate me because you keep eating all my stuff. And she's like, you've done it now 4 times. And she really didn't know I actually had done it like 5 or 6, but I replaced it before she realized it.
How the tables have turned.
How the tables have turned. But what it is, though, is it's saying what it is.
Yeah.
Because for me, I think my irritation with the incessant crying is I don't know what you need or want.
Yeah.
I just want to be able to understand. So if you tell me I'm crying because I'm upset with you and I can't do anything about it, okay, touche, go cry.
But then that means you've just made my emotions about you.
I know,
and I just want them to be about me. Like, I feel like if we were just allowed to just have our emotions be about us in that moment, as opposed to now my emotions have to be changed so that somebody else could feel better about how I'm feeling.
Listen, I never said it's right.
I'm just saying that's what I'm analyzing from it. It's just like we've all kind of, a lot of us are so uncomfortable with other people's emotions because we can't sit with our own. So when people are crying or when they're upset, it's just like we get so dysregulated because we don't even want to sit with our own shit. But that started in childhood when they told us to stop crying before they give us something to cry about. It was like, I'm crying because you hit me. I think I should cry for 5 minutes. Like, let me get a hot five. And, you know, like, are tantrums okay? Should they break things? And I just feel like if nobody is being hurt, if nothing is being destroyed, like, you can go over there and just, like, get it out. You know, and and I tell her, when you're ready, let's talk. And then she will come and she goes, I'm ready to talk now. And I'm like, okay, I'm ready to listen. Like, I want you to understand what it means to be human. I'm going to let you see me cry. I'm going to let you see me get angry. I'm going to come back to you and apologize if I need to. Like, this is a whole human being raising you. I'm not perfect. I am not like trying to pretend that things don't happen and affect me. And mommy, how are you feeling? I don't feel good. I'm on my period and my hair hurt, girl. Oh, okay. And now, like, if I have a headache, she goes, are you on your period? Like, have real conversations with children. Tell them what's happening with you. Do not treat them as your friend. Don't like overload them and adultify them in a way that now they're dealing with your issues. But I think it's perfectly normal to communicate in an age appropriate way what is happening with you. Yeah. Or sometimes she goes, Mommy, are you okay? And I go, why do you ask me that? She'll go, because you look sad. I'm like, what does a sad face like? I want you, what does a sad face look like? She'll make a face that she feels like I'm making. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, I don't know why I'm making that face, because I'm fine. You know, and I'm like, maybe I have a lot on my mind, or, you know, and we'll have a conversation. Like, I feel like just being able to acknowledge, like you said, naming it, talking about it on a regular basis. Yeah. I hear so many people. I was listening to an interview on The Breakfast Club, which I think it was Kem, the singer. Mm-hmm. And he was like, he came from a 2-parent household, parents married forever, and somehow ended up on drugs, eating out of garbage cans in his early 20s. Kem, right? I thought the same thing. I was like, Kim, soft singing, beautiful kid. And when we interviewed him, he was so like gentle, and he's just, I mean, he is just a light. But he said in his 20s, he was like eating out of trash cans, high on drugs. Oh, wow. And he said he realized through therapy, and as he got older and, you know, went to rehab and all those things, he realized that even though he grew up in a 2-parent household, there was so much unsaid. Like, they didn't talk about anything. They didn't talk about emotions, and we're so focused sometimes on having 2-parent households. Like, okay, yes, that's cool,
but you can't just be there. I think that is the biggest. We gonna tap back in and give y'all these tools, but real quick, you cannot think that your presence is a substitute for conversation, for actually teaching,
functioning households.
Like that's not it. You can't just show up and be there. You have to actually have a conversation. You have to teach them. Yep. Like I tell my daughter all the time, I'm not watching you, I'm raising you. Yeah. I'm teaching you.
I'm instilling things in you. I am preparing you.
Listen, I am helping to ensure that if I left on the day you turn 18, and we even go even deeper, if I had to leave tomorrow, I have left you with some good stuff that you can use to still build a life that you can be proud of. Yeah. It's not just about, oh, you just trying to run my life. No, actually, ask any one of my friends. I don't want to do nothing extra. I do too much. I don't want to do nothing extra.
Yeah, and it's not like you don't want to do anything extra because they don't deserve it. It's like okay, I want to give you all the things that you need, and I want to make sure that I'm not doing it in vain. Like, it needs to all make sense. Like, I am doing this with intention so that we can at least increase our chances of getting the best result. Absolutely. And we need to stop acting like our children are just like a wild card. Like, everyone's child is like, oh, we're going to do all that, and they can still turn out to be this, they can still turn out to be that. Nah, if you really pay attention to a lot of very successful people, they are very intentional with what they tell their kids, what they show their kids, where they take their children, what their children eat, what their children wear. Absolutely. You are wiring. It's called indoctrination, and it doesn't just have to be in a religious sense. You can indoctrinate your children with the things that you want in them. Look at white people, how they indoctrinate their children to be racist. Children are not randomly and naturally racist.
Not all white people, y'all. Some of them.
I'm just saying that mentality is a type of indoctrination that you see from the way they treat other people of different races, the way they talk about them, the way they teach their children to think about something. That is how racism continues. Absolutely. Through indoctrination. So you can indoctrinate anything into them.
It's so funny. I was talking on the phone with a guy recently. I met him, I think, Friday. We were on the phone all night Saturday. And he asked me, what are some of the things that you don't like about Georgia? Because, you know, it's where I live now versus New York. Do you know, I couldn't come up with a list. And I finally told him, I was like, hey, listen, I focus a lot more on what I do want to create in my experience and in my world and in my universe. I mean, I could sit and think, and I'm sure I could come up with some things, but I much rather focus on what I actually want, because then I can actually create it.
Yep.
Yes, of course, there are things that I don't like or I don't prefer, but I don't be focused on that. So I really can't tell you in list format of what are all the things I don't like. I can tell you what I do like, what I much rather prefer.
Yeah.
And I feel like if I'm going to be sitting, because to me, midnight hours are very tender hours because your spirit becomes more open. Mm-hmm. It's why I used to love the club so much, y'all, because it would just be doing something to my little soul. So for me, like, we're going to be talking during those times, I want to talk about dreams, goals, wishes, desires. What are we being intentional about? Mm-hmm. What do we want to create? Because that is what you will have more of.
Yeah.
But if you're consistently focused on, oh, well, we don't know what could happen, that's cute. But I'm about to get real intentional to make sure that I'm producing the results that I want, which is why it's so important that we're having this EQ, which is, as we told y'all earlier, emotional intelligence, because there are some tools and things that you can use to develop this for your own experience.
And you can't always guarantee every outcome, right? Like, we're not saying that this is magic, but we're just talking about increasing the probability. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if many of us feel that we even have that much control over our lives. Mm-hmm. Like, to even be able to just increase the percentage, increase the chance, even if it skews in your favor 2%, like just to have that outcome be more possible, I feel like is worth the effort that it takes to learn and to cultivate. Because once you are in a space that you're so self-aware, mm-hmm. that you are able to learn to regulate yourself, because you know you need the regulation. You're like, okay, well, I don't like this. When this happens, this is what happens. What are the tools, right? Am I journaling? Am I going for a walk? The other day, and honestly, that what inspired this conversation, that I was on our good friend Kanasha. Hey, Kanasha. I was on her Instagram, and she was posting stories, and she's been posting a lot about her business and entrepreneurship and what it's like. And she was being really candid around how her emotional intelligence was being challenged in a certain situation. Mm-hmm. And she said, she knows one of the things for her is a good walk, mm-hmm. which, if you just, y'all, that's like the number one tool of life. Just go for a walk. A lot of times and it sounds like some old school shit, but it's really like very effective. A nice 10-minute walk by yourself or with somebody, like just to kind of just walk it out and think it out helps. But she said that she realized that she was so angry that she needed to run.
Got to run this one out.
It was not enough to walk, and she realized, like, oh my God, I have to run to like get this out of my body, because once she knows she has to get out of her body, because you don't want to hold on to emotions too long in your body. That's where a lot of sickness and illness and dis-ease comes from, is holding on to emotions that just you don't need anymore. So just release them. But sometimes you need to work a little harder to get it out of your body. Yeah. And she was like, I have to run. I was like, wow, that is so interesting. Like, I wonder how many people are even aware enough of their bodies to know where the thing is, how it's affecting them, and how to move it out.
Yeah, because emotional intelligence first starts with self-awareness. Mm-hmm. That is where it starts. It starts with self-awareness, because you cannot self-regulate until you are aware of what needs to be regulated. Yeah. No, that's a real thing. And then if you're not able to regulate yourself, then you're kind of going to always be in a loop where you're just constantly reacting to your triggers. Absolutely. It's like, okay, now you know, but okay, what are you going to do about it now that you know that this thing is upsetting? The biggest and hardest thing, because I always say knowledge means very little if you do nothing with it.
Yeah, no, like, what's the application of that knowledge? And then how are you going to make sure that, not that you're ever going to get rid of the trigger, right? Because we said if you cocoon yourself too much, that's also an issue. So it's not about getting rid of the trigger. Like we said, it's about finding the ways to regulate, but then you also want to make sure that you're staying motivated.
Yeah. I think it's that piece too, and we forgot to round it out because we start talking about how we've all lived the same life. The Greeks believe you should live in moderation. Yeah. And a lot of places in Greece, their people live to 100. So I'm going to think and choose to, I like that result. And they're not living to 100 in these feeble bodies.
Right, no.
They're living to 100
with steps and gardening and
mind working still sharp. So I think I'm gonna take that. Okay. So just like how we should give children certain experiences, especially adverse experiences, in moderation, right? What if we were to do the same thing with us? Not the cocooning, because the cocooning, again, it makes it so that you can't take anything out in the world. And so then you always have to be by yourself. And then you complain that, oh, I'm overwhelmed, or oh, I'm stressed, oh, I'm this, oh, I'm that, because you won't deal with the village because of the mess. Mm-hmm. You cocoon yourself so that you can stay on high vibes. Mm-hmm. But then you have no support system.
Right. It's not. It's working against you.
And so you still are anxious.
And I love that because it's not that you're just trying to make anyone's life harder on purpose. But one example is like if your child is struggling with a Lego. Like, let them figure it out. Struggle. Let them get frustrated. Let them get impatient.
Let them throw it a little bit. As long as you don't throw it at something that
can break. Like, let them get annoyed. Let them come to you and ask for help. And then be like, instead of just always intercepting and interceding for them, like, are there ways to have them have just a little bit of resistance in life so that when they get frustrated, they're like, okay, I'm frustrated, but what can I do about it now? Yes. How do I move through that?
You start that with yourself, too, right? Because as we get older, right, we have things that happen and you're just like, oh, this right here, I want to fight.
Yeah.
How can I, or what, those same types of questions. Yes, I'm frustrated. How can I move through this? What does it look like for me to either try and solve this or let it ride so that I can deal with something else?
Or how do we learn to channel our emotions so that we can use them towards our goals? You know, like how do we use our emotions to fuel us to do the right things? Like I feel emotional about something. Like, can I change the feeling of jealousy into motivation to do something? Can I change the feelings of resentment into gratitude? Like, how can we use the same energy that the emotion is bringing, but raise the vibration of it so that we can make it something that's a little bit more useful? Like, I think that is a big part of emotional intelligence where it's like, okay, I know I'm feeling this negative thing, but what can I do with it? Like, how can I use this to fuel me?
How can I alchemize it?
Yeah, I'm furious right now. Okay, my heart's beating fast. Like, maybe I do need to go for a run. Like, that is a good thing to do with this emotion. Maybe I'm feeling very sad. Like, maybe this is an opportunity to use that emotion to connect with a loved one. Like, let me use sadness to kind of bring me connection. Like,
there's give back so that I'm feeling really, that's literally what saved my life when I was planning my suicide. I was like, well, let me help somebody else because I feel I feel really shitty.
Yeah, that always helps, helping others.
Somebody else.
Absolutely.
And in helping her, it saved my life.
Yeah.
So just that understanding that, hey, you don't have to sit in this in the way that you're experiencing it.
Right.
So
that's good.
Like we were saying with the tools, like the first thing you need to do is pause and identify what the emotion is and name it. I am pissed. I am angry. I am heartbroken. I am
that hurt my feelings. Like, I ain't like that.
Feelings like this. And I know people say everything you say after I am becomes what it is, but sometimes I am.
This is the feeling. This is what's happening right now.
This is what it is.
And even acknowledging it and saying it out loud, whether it's to yourself or to a person or whatever it is, it just, you'll feel a lot of times immediately that you feel like, oh, okay, now what?
Breathe.
Yeah, it's the bottling it up and keeping it and then just sitting and swimming and drowning in emotions that we don't even need. Like, that's why I love watching children because they move through their emotions so fast. And I use it as like how you talk about the Greeks and the people in Greece and they're living so long. Yeah. I have learned so much about moving through emotions from my children.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I don't gotta be mad.
And
so mad.
I mean,
they just move on.
2 to 5 seconds. They're like, okay, we're moving on.
We're done with that.
Listen, my daughter has like I would discipline her and she would be just, distraught. All the tears, just everything, heartbroken. And like 10 seconds later, she's like, okay, so Mom, where are we gonna? And I just would look at her like,
moving on.
Very strange.
And it's not deflecting either. It's like, oh no, I dealt with that. Next. We still on that. Kids be like, you still back? You still talk about that, girl? We on to the next, girl. Like, children are so ready to move on with life because they're about being present. The emotion, and sometimes we feel so beholden to the emotion. Sometimes it's like, I feel like this, and I just gotta feel like this. I gotta sit in it, and I gotta think about it, and I gotta tell myself some stories, and it's like, but you don't have to. You can literally feel it and just release it. And it's not anyone taking advantage of you. It's not anybody getting the better of you. Sometimes it's like, okay, I felt that and that was cool and now I know how to move with you. I don't have to hold on to this and sit in this and be miserable because I'm the only one feeling like that while you're moving on with your day.
Yeah, but see, that too that's tool number 2. Where you are practicing self-regulation tools.
Yeah.
Where you are like, okay, you can do the deep breathing, you can go for the run or go for the walk or do the journaling because what it does is it allows you to interrupt what your normal reactive pattern is.
Yep.
Like whatever the normal pattern is, which is how you would normally react, it allows you to disrupt that and then give space for you to react in a more advantageous way.
And even something as simple as a hug, which is considered co-regulation,
Yep.
when you loop somebody into your ability to regulate, where you're maybe in an argument with someone, sometimes just stopping and hugging can stop all of that in the moment. Yeah. And maybe right now we can't finish this conversation to reach a resolution, but maybe we can just hug and just stop for a second.
Yeah, I just
and just
pause.
Reconnect and just have some endorphins and all the good fins that release whenever you are feeling better and safe in someone's embrace, even in a tense moment. Just reaching out and touching someone's hand, just like we said, going for a walk together, like even co-regulation. If you don't have it within yourself all the way, finding or being, if you're in the room with someone when you are being triggered, just if you can, it might feel crazy to want to touch someone that you're angry at, but it can really make a world of a difference in the outcome of whatever's happening between you two. So just finding different ways that work for you, because not everything works for everyone. Like, I'm not about to sit and write my feelings out. I don't want to do that. That don't really make me feel better. I just sometimes get more mad because now I'm writing out and I'm like, well, this is fucking stupid, okay? Like, even writing about it, I'm still mad. Now I'm more mad. Like, I don't want to write about this. Like, that doesn't work for me, but I know moving my body works for me. I know the hugs and the walks and things like that are really, really effective for me. So just finding like the thing that works for you in those moments so you can always reach for it. And that's why we talk so much about having a toolbox, because you don't want to have to think too hard, because you got to think too hard, you're going to spiral. So what's the thing that you can go to in 3 seconds? What's the like, oh no, I don't got to yell right now. I can stop. I can say, okay, I'm really mad right now. What do I do?
And so for me, I have to write it out. Like,
I
have a folder in my phone.
Really?
Nobody ever goes in it.
It's incriminating.
It is called responses, to where I respond and say all the nasty.
Really?
I am a wordsmith, and I can kill and destroy and cut people with my words.
So that you have a folder where you just have...
I have a folder in my phone.
I did not know this. This is great.
It is called responses, and it has my responses to situations and circumstances and things that have happened, where I get to just say the nasty thing, the mean thing, the I want to cut you thing out loud. And by out loud, I mean in my phone, in the locked note folder.
That is so interesting. See, everyone has a different method.
Yeah, because that's how I get it out of my body. Because I come from a world where I used to fight a lot. So my first reaction when I am triggered is to hit or punch or protect myself physically. We've grown up and we don't do that anymore. But
we don't want to go to jail.
We don't want to go to jail or be sued. So we don't do that anymore. However, I still work it through my body using my words by writing it down and getting it out. And by writing it down, I mean on my phone, because I'm not about to write it in paper.
See, I had the same thing where, because I like to put my hands on God's children, or and I'm not going to say I used to like to, because I still like to, I just don't, because of the reasons stated previously. For me, instead of like the writing and stuff like that, I definitely feel the urge to very often. And I know that I have to sometimes bring like logic in. Like sometimes it's not that deep. Sometimes it's like, oh, this is not going to be a good idea if I do that, because this is going to happen. Like you can start playing with different scenarios. Like, if I respond like this, what's the outcome going to be? Because this could probably go left. Like if I put my hands on her and then she calls the cops and the cops come, you'll talk yourself right out of doing something stupid. Like just having a conversation with yourself about possible outcomes that may not be in your favor. You might want to pause and do that. We believe so much in a nice pause whenever you are in conflict. Absolutely. Take a second, breathe, go for a walk. Like it's not about deflecting all the time or shutting down. People need to start using silence as a tool to better regulate themselves. Yes. You are not required to respond to everything immediately. It does not mean you are shutting down because you step away for a second. Because as long as you plan on coming back and having an actual conversation in a healthy way, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm so people are shutting down, they don't have conversations. Sometimes people are shutting up so they don't hurt your fucking feelings, so that you guys could talk tomorrow. Like,
or hurt you physically.
You want me to just be quiet right now, okay?
It's like, so Dani says this all the time. People really are walking around out in the world, and you don't know if everyone's brakes work.
Like, at all. Like, you don't know how crazy it is.
You don't know if their brakes are it's squeaking right now. Like, every time they brake, it's...
or it's down to the rotors, bitch. Like, we don't know what's going to happen.
You don't know. And so that helps us with tool number 3, where it's, you have to build empathy in the moment sometimes thinking about everyone sees things through their frame of reference.
Yeah.
Like we said all the time, and Danny and I were just talking about it this week, where I was saying, I don't allow men I date to raise their voice at me. I was in a very abusive marriage. And to me, the moment you feel comfortable raising your voice, oh, you are just a moment away from hitting me. I understand logically that's not the truth.
Right.
I understand that. And still, because of my experience, it's something that I know I can't take. So everyone is filtering their experience through a whole nother lens.
Yeah.
So building empathy in the moment looks like, I do not know what experiences this person has had as to why they may not be comprehending the very clear words that are coming out of my mouth. Maybe they're filtering it through a form of trauma, or maybe they're filtering it through a form of joy to where it is completely serious to you, and they are unaffected.
It's not that serious.
It's just not that serious.
It really is like the rose-colored glasses, but there are different colored glasses that aren't just rose.
Absolutely.
Everyone has on a different shade of glasses, and we're all looking at the world, trying to filter it and understand it through whatever lens we've been given and what's been created and what's been given to us.
Yep.
So it's one of those things where when we talk about empathy, like, yeah, it's putting yourself in someone else's shoes, but it's also putting yourself in their perspective.
Absolutely.
Like, you can say like, oh man, it must suck to be homeless on the street, and try to, be like, oh man, I don't know what I would do if I was outside and I was walking around and I just didn't have nowhere I was gonna go, and like, what is that experience? But like, also think about the perspective of that person. How does that person actually see the world?
Yeah.
That's way deeper than just empathy. That's like, hold on, how are they experiencing this world right now that I'm looking at them and I'm thinking, oh man, that must suck. But like, what if there's a different view or worldview that they have that allows this, or that makes this feel differently than I think it should? Like, just exploring all the things that someone might be experiencing, as opposed to just like always filtering it through your lens, understanding what their lens could look like. And then if there's a situation where you are able to have a conversation, asking the right questions to unpack that so you can really understand.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be asking questions just to like prove your point. You should be asking questions to reach such a deep understanding that you can really see how somebody's feeling. Like genuinely, and being like, oh no, I really do understand that. Like, I get that. And then you can start having these healthy conversations around what we can do together to solve the problem and not let the problem tear us apart.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because again, the only way emotional intelligence is practiced, is nurtured, is developed, is if it's with other people. So
sorry. I don't know why he just didn't put us all on our own planet, child. The universe is big enough for that.
Listen, it really is. But it's with other people. That's why we keep referencing in our examples are with other people, because remember, if you just cocoon yourself, then you won't know how to respond when you are triggered and challenged. And the lessons that you learn in it are far more valuable than the lessons that you learn outside of it or on top of it.
Yeah.
When you're in it, that's where the real lessons are learned. And then you learn too how to, which is tool number 4, reframe challenges.
That's the one, and that's what I call swimming faster to shore. Like, you're gonna get thrown out there. The waves are gonna be there. You might feel like you drown. You might get caught in the riptide, girl. Like, go diagonal. Like, it can get really rough out in the seas, but how much faster am I swimming to shore each time I'm thrown out? It's not about not getting in the water at all. And when you start reframing it and you start being, and it's about being a little delulu. We don't want to like reframe. I'm like, oh, be a little delulu. Okay, I can be a little bit delulu to the point where I'm not living in an alternate world, but I'm understanding that there are other ways to look at this that just might make me feel better in this moment so that I can start the process of healing. It's not about excusing anyone's abuse. It's not about justifying anyone's ill treatment towards you, but there is a release that can come sometimes from just understanding maybe what they've been through, maybe even pitying them, maybe even feeling sorry for them for the ways that they have to behave, and trying to just understand to the point that you can release it instead of trying to excuse it.
Yeah. And then too, if let's say you are the problem, sometimes, hi, it's me, I'm the problem, it's me. And the results from your actions have caused challenges. Instead of being like, yo, this is a disaster, my life is over, take the time that you need for that. Like, I took a day when I found out something catastrophic, and I literally just for the day, I shut down for the day. I had to allow myself that so that I could better self-regulate. And then I turned it into, okay, instead of this is such a disaster, It was, okay, this is an opportunity for me to become a lot more stringent, or to become a lot sharper, or to better manage this resource that I've been given.
Yeah.
Like, you get to decide which side of the coin. And I'm not, what's that, where you're super optimistic, and it's like to a point to where it's like, yo, this don't even make no damn sense. Like, bro, the house is on fire. I need you to recognize that it's on fire. Not, oh, it's warming up the trees. Yo, that's not
right. Like, you want, exactly. You want to see things for what they are, but it's just about, is there a different vantage point that you can look at it from that can maybe give you a broader understanding so that you can start to take what you need from it to move on. It's not like you're saying, it's not so delusional that you're just trying to say that it's something else. Like, no, this is what happened, but this is what I can do with that information. This is how I can now move forward, because we're just holding on to things so much that it's making us sick. Like, and in combination with the food and the air and the water and the stress, like, we don't stand a chance, y'all. 1 in 3 people will have cancer. Like, those are the numbers.
Sorry, y'all.
I'm just saying, this is what the science is saying, okay?
Well, I'm going to be the Lulu for this one.
Oh, not 1 in, I think it's actually 2 in 3.
Nope.
But anyways,
I'm gonna be the Lulu.
the cancer rates are expected to continue to increase. And the combination, and I firmly believe that it's not just the food, and it's not just the water, and it's the combination of just terrible things that are happening to us all at once that have never happened before. And our bodies are trying to adjust, and maybe in 50 years we might be like, all right, we gonna come out looking fucked up, but we got it now. You know, we're here, we're able to figure it out, but it's gonna take a lot of generations for that to happen. So right now, we are a part of the generations, or one of them, that is experiencing the firsthand. We're experiencing the first model.
We're the front line, y'all.
We're the beta testers, okay? Like, we are. And it's really, really difficult to try to then go through all this. You're going to work all day, you're working all day, then you're coming home, and you're dealing with children, you're dealing with spouses, you're dealing with family members. Like, it is a lot to try to manage.
It's why a lot of people will turn off, and they will listen in order to just respond. I don't got time to be hearing you for real. And I am guilty of it. Hi, it's me. I am very guilty of that because I have ADHD real bad. So I will, like, if someone goes on for too long, I have to tune out so that I can self-regulate, because it overwhelms me with all of their words and things, and I don't know what they're asking me, and it's a lot. Too much. And so the 5th tool is to develop active listening skills, so that you're not listening to respond, but you're listening to understand. Because then what it does is it helps to build trust. And one of the ways in which I like to listen to understand is I repeat to them. It helps me to more actively listen, because my brain, it literally is like, in my brain, if someone's talking or multiple things are happening, I will branch it off into however many branches I feel I need to pay attention to what's happening on the TV, to pay attention to what the person is saying on the phone, and also pay attention to what I'm now typing. I know it sounds crazy. ADHD is how my brain works. I get it.
And you can always tell when her ass is watching TV trying to talk to you. She can't do it.
Listen, I never said it was effective, okay? I just said it's what my brain does.
I'm like, are you watching television right now? Because, woo, child, she is like, squirrel.
Literally. So, but it's learning to listen actively and then repeat to them, okay, I think you're saying this. Did I get that right? So are you suggesting that? Because that is what I took from it. And then it allows them to be like, oh, so you really do want to understand what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
And then they can repeat themselves. And it's usually, not always, but it's usually a much more effective conversation.
Yeah.
Because both parties can express and get to, all right, so this is what it is.
Yeah.
At a core level.
Yeah, and I feel like it actually allows the other person to then start doing it back. You create a synergy with that person. You create an environment, and you're also, maybe without even knowing, teaching them. Because now they're like, okay, well, I should be asking questions because, hey, I'm feeling heard. Maybe if I ask you questions, then you will feel heard. Like, if you're dealing with a sane, healthy person, right? Healthy-ish, healthy enough person.
Sane-ish.
Because I don't know if any of us are fully sane. But just not dealing with a toxic person who actually does really want a resolution to the problem. These tools should be effective and they should work. But even in work environments, even with your children, like, these are things that are just tried and true. and they work across the board. Not every single thing will work for everyone, but just finding what works for you, for your family, for their dynamic, for the person you're dealing with. Just being able to have a high level of emotional intelligence is in your daily life literally changes the way your life goes. Like that ability to just like understand and regulate and just move on and not hold on to it and not trip about it for days and not let it derail your whole weekend. Like when you can just kind of flow through it and move through it, it really, really helps. Like I know that that's a space that I would love to get back to, is a little bit more of a flow in my emotional intelligence. Because y'all, I realized I thought I was so emotionally intelligent. And lately I don't know, I'm feeling a little bit emotionally
unintelligent.
Oh, you can't say the R word. I'm feeling emotionally unintelligent. And because I just find myself reacting in ways that I'm not usually reacting, but I realize it's to your point of I was so cocooned in like my perfect little world where nothing was really bothering me, nothing was really affecting me. I was never around anyone I didn't want to be around. I didn't have to deal with people I didn't want to fucking deal with. Like I was like, oh, like I'm living my best life. I live by myself. I didn't have no children. I didn't have any husband. All I had was my girlfriends, nights out, and shots of tequila. Okay, that is all I had in my life.
So you was ready.
Oh my God, and the gym. Okay, so I was fine and ready. Okay. And it just made me feel like I was vibing so high. Life was so good. Like I was, let me tell you, I was really feeling lit. And then I got thrown into marriage and motherhood and stepmotherhood and business ownership. It was just so much, home ownership. Like it was just so much at once that my emotional intelligence was just, it was just too tested. It was not even like beta testing. It was like somebody just threw me in an experiment. It was like, all right. Like,
here we go.
Like y'all didn't even slow walk me into this. Like, can we get one at a time? Like, it was like I was bragging so hard about emotional intelligence. I was like, oh yeah, I'm really like.
What's the Usher one? Watch this.
The universe was like, oh really? Oh, let's see about that. We'll see about that, bitch.
Watch this.
So I really am at a stage now where I'm having to level up, right? Because that's what evolution is. That's what growth is. That's what the journey is. That's what healing is. There are going to be so many levels to everything that you're trying to master. And true mastery is going to continue to challenge you and test you and really see what you're made of. If you really want to be this person that can walk around and be like, no, I'm emotionally intelligent. You're going to constantly have to get into a space where your emotional intelligence is put on the table. Like, okay, well, let's see.
Let's see. And it's okay to understand that, hey, I've been operating on a level 5 and this next level, this new requirement, these new desires that I have are going to compel me to come up to a level 8.
And that is a good thing. And I feel like in life, it's such an indicator of where you're supposed to be going. Like whenever I have challenges now, I'm trying to reframe them in that way.
And that is tool number 6, y'all.
I like to reframe them like, okay, this is happening. It's because I need this skill set because for what I'm doing and where I'm going and what I'm elevating to, I'm going to need to figure that out. And I'm going to have to need that all. And I can't figure it out then. I need to figure it out now so I can get to the then.
It's why I don't believe people should be so quick to try and skip the process. Like, you have no idea. Everything that you learn on level 1, you're going to need for level 2. What you learned on level 1 and 2, you need for when you get to level 5. If I had not moved to New York, immediately became homeless, and didn't have clients to figure it out, I never would have taught myself to design. The skill to design, it has saved me so many times on this entrepreneurial journey to where, okay, I may not have a client, but I can pick up 2 or 3 design clients and have everything I need for the next month or 2. And granted, no, y'all, do not be jumping into this entrepreneurship game if that's not what the spirit has ordained for your soul, for this life's experience. However, everything I've learned, again, I was talking to the young man the other night, and he was just asking about some of my past, and he apologized for one of my experiences. And I was like, oh, no, baby, don't apologize. That singular experience has made me everything I am. That experience is how I've been able to speak in front of audiences from 50 to 50,000 and speak on continents.
That reframing.
5 of the 7 continents.
It's not excusing what you experienced.
It's not at all.
But look at what has come from that.
Exactly. I said there is no way I would be here if I had not experienced that.
Awesome.
So I tell them thank you. Now, would I sign up to do it again? No. Okay.
Like when Jesus was about to go on the cross, he was like, God, can we think of another way? Is there any other way to die for the sins of the people? No, I gotta, okay.
Okay.
You know, it's okay to be afraid. It's okay to feel like, oh my God, like this is really hard. I don't want to do the hard thing.
Yeah.
But it's also great when you can look back and appreciate some of the turmoil and the trauma and the things that you went through in a way that empowers you, but still honors what your experience is. I feel like that level of emotional intelligence is so hot.
Top tier.
Like that is top tier. Like, oh, I can look back at some bullshit and be like, okay, God, I see you. I see what you was trying to do. You know, so I just wish for all of us, especially Black women, because y'all know that's where my heart is all the time. We have such a ways to go as a group when it comes to the emotional intelligence piece, because we were just, especially us older millennials, just we're not really given a space to just really be emotional, where our emotions were accepted and welcomed and tolerated and honored in a way that made us feel like it's okay to now show them in ways that don't include anger. Anger seemed to be somewhat okay because that kind of was mistaken for strength and power and bravery, you know. So I love to now see the conversations that we're having, where we're having sister to sister moments publicly. We're talking about the tough things in public. We're saying, not I'm pissed off, you pissed me off. It's, oh girl, that hurt my feelings.
Like,
every time I hear a Black woman say that, I'm like, oh my God, like an angel's got its wings, because that, for me, I don't think people realize how big of a deal that is for us to say.
Huge.
Nobody was able to say you hurt your feelings. Girl, what? Get over it. Like, what? You know, so I just...
It was the sticks and stones may break my bones,
but words will never hurt. That's the one that did it.
It's like...
That's the one that got us.
Actually did hurt me.
Oh my God. I wish you would have just thrown at me, bitch. I would have been over that. We could just fight this out and move on. But the things people say to you, oh my God, they do hurt. And oh my God, the sticks and stones.
They did break a bone or two.
Oh my goodness.
And it wasn't a physical bone, but for me, it was my self-worth bone.
Oh my God, or my self-esteem bone, or my confidence bone, or there's so many bones to be broken that we can't see. Oh my God, that is so good. The sticks and stones, y'all. We got to take that out the book.
It broke our bones a little bit.
It broke our heart.
It broke our heart.
Sticks and stones, but words will break your heart. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
We need that on a t-shirt.
Yes. Listen, we hope you guys enjoyed this conversation. It was as good for us as I hope it was for y'all. But remember, you can, again, create a life that feels as good as it looks. Yeah. And these conversations, especially ones that we have with Just Us, are centered around, how do we all get better? Because we do not have to stay triggered or in a triggered state, so that it causes us to live lives that are well below what we know we deserve and desire and require.
We don't have to feel like, you don't have to feel bad.
You don't have to. That's not what it is.
Yeah. And one thing I wanted to say before we wrap up, because I said I was going to say and I forgot. We kind of touched on it earlier, but we were saying that don't feel like you're not worthy of emotional intelligence. Yes. Don't feel like it doesn't include you because you feel like you're so far gone, or you're so uneducated, or you're so poor, or you're so unhealthy, or you're so ugly. Like whatever you feel about yourself, it does not, you are not excluded from the possibilities of becoming an emotionally intelligent person. Yeah. I know so many brilliant IQ, like people who have high IQ but low EQ, right? So it doesn't have anything to do with how many books you've read necessarily, or what college you went to, or how educated you are on an IQ level. So I don't want people to feel like you're not good enough to pursue emotional intelligence, or it's not for you.
This is for
you too. It's for all of us. We are all working on it, and it just, I just want to say that, like, it doesn't have anything to do with your socioeconomic status, your gender, how you identify. Like all that stuff is like it's for all of us. This is one of those things that is really something that everyone can work on daily, and it's not too late. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter how young you are. You can start working on improving your emotional intelligence, and if you put the work in, this is one of those healing modalities, like, or something to focus on, that I feel like you really see results when you work it. Like in real time, like for everyone. Like in real time for everyone, like it really is one of those things where you're like, you will really start to see a difference. It moves the needle, I feel like. Focusing on mastering it moves the needle, I feel like, than a lot of other modalities.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now listen, I know y'all thought that was real, real good. We have conversations like this in the community. We are consistently providing these type of tools with actual activities for you to do to work these muscles. The muscles only get strong when you work them. So come into community with us at justthrivenow.com. You can join the community. There are links all over the page. You can do the things. You can join us in community, because it is only lonely at the top if you take no one with you, and we do not have to stay triggered. We really can put in the work to build and create lives that feel as good as they look. And I cannot wait until you guys join us next time. Stay connected with us. Where can we find you?
You can stay connected with me at the Dani Bordeaux. You can go to Triggered AFPC on the Instagrams. And you can go to justthrivenow.com, like she said, and triggeredafpodcast.com. We got a lot of .coms. We need to condense or something,
It's a lot of .coms. We be doing the most. You can stay connected with me everywhere at Alechia Reese, ALECHIA. Y'all know my mama got excited when it was time to spell my name. But stay connected with me everywhere. We cannot wait to see you next week. We hope this conversation was good for you. If so, DM us, add a comment, do the things, connect with us. We cannot wait to see you. So until next time.
Bye.
Bye.